call this meeting Wichita County Commissioners to order. I'd like to call on Commissioner Harvey for the invocation at this time.
Pray with me, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for every blessing that you give us every day. We just need to know that you're always there with us. We can always count on you in everything we do. Thank you so much for loving us and saving our souls. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir. Y'all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas pledge, please.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Y'all take your seats, please. We do have one presentation I'd like to make this morning. Someone that takes awful good care of all of us, but especially me. Joyce, would you like to come forward? Seems longer to me than 5 years. Probably doesn't feel long to you.
I'm sure that's good.
Would you like to introduce?
This is my mother, Delphine Ted.
Glad to have you.
Hello, welcome.
Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is presented to Joyce L. Gilliland for 5 years of service to Wichita County. Congratulations on reaching your milestone service anniversary. Through your hard work, dedication, and loyalty, Wichita County is able to provide quality service to the citizens of Wichita County. In honor of your service, we are pleased to offer a choice of anniversary awards. Please accept your gift as an expression of our gratitude for the contributions you continue to make every day. On behalf of the Commissioners Court, we commend you for your service and with you every success as you continue your career toward your next milestone. Your commitment to Wichita County is deeply appreciated, and it really is. It really is. The other thing, Joyce doesn't appear, she has a sense of humor and observation that all of a sudden she just slides it in. And everybody goes, where did that come from? But it's funny or it's catchy or whatever. But we appreciate your professionalism and what you offer to us. And let's go ahead and let's Nancy, get us a picture like this. Yeah, Mom, come on up, Ms. Tech. We'll just have a Facebook running wild tonight.
All right.
All right. You want to say anything?
Thank you very much.
All right, very good. Thank you. Okay.
You know she hates that stuff.
Excuse me, Nancy.
Apple didn't fall too far from that tree, did it?
All right, if I could ask the court to review and take action on the consent agenda.
Judge, having reviewed the consent agenda, I'd make a motion we approve.
Second. I wanted,
Yes, sir.
a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't get the amount in item 3 to tally out. I didn't know what that was for. It calls out two prices, but then it references 4,400. And then I wanted to make sure I understood what we were doing on the number 5.
Okay. I just read a text from, if this is for the work at EMO, he says that's not working yet. So let's pull that and find out what that is, and then
Table number 3.
yeah, just pull it off. Unless there's something comes back in, we can get back from IT to explain why that is, but I don't like paying for something that's not working yet. and correct, and figure out what the deal is on those totals.
And the way I understand the number 5 deal is there was a slight variation in what we approved back in January for that project and what the actual invoice was. I believe
Correct.
it's, what,
That was one of the-
$325 or?
Yeah,
323.83.
Well, you carry that out to the total, it's
76.
325.76. If I'm reading it correctly. So we actually had a savings in that first column of the
Yeah,
video protect, but then an overage in the Clarity system. And then adding the 3-year warranty, subtracting that, the 323 back out of that, made the total 325.76, if I'm reading that correctly.
correct. So there may be additional costs to complete the Polycon system, but they are undeterminable at this time. I don't understand that.
I think that had to do, they were explaining that last week. Nancy, call down to IT and ask them to come up, one of them come up and can talk about the SKC and Polycom.
Table it for a few minutes and move on, Judge.
Yeah, I think I have the answer to Commissioner Watt's question. If you look, Commissioner, in the backup, there's the previous bill. This is being added to the 3728 that we previously paid, and then I think it all comes up to what you were, comes up to the 4494.50. If you add in the 3728 that's on the previous court order, then it all adds up to that. But when IT comes up, if they, anybody answer down there?
Yeah, Cody
Okay,
said to find somebody.
okay. Then, let's pull off 3 and 5, and then when they get here, we'll talk about them.
I'll amend my motion to accept the consent agenda with the exception of 3 and 5.
Second.
Okay.
The way you want to do that?
Yes, sir, please. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, we will move to item number 1 is to review and approve the emergency and regular bills for payment. You all looked at those on Friday. I reviewed the printout.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Well, there were some bills that we had questions on that Mark was gonna follow up on today on Texoma Heating and Air.
Yes, I
Okay.
have not had a chance to follow up with them yet.
Okay. Can you amend your motion to approve the emergency regular bills except for the 3?
Absolutely.
Three that were, vendor was Texoma Heating and Air.
Okay, who seconded that?
Yeah. Did you put them back?
They're back in the stack right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Second?
Do we need to pull those
Yeah.
before Mr. Hampton takes those
Yeah.
down?
Yeah, probably do.
I'll pull them.
Will you? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want Mr. Beecham to approve payment then, or you want to wait another month later, or another week?
Let's wait another week. We already pulled them. A week's not gonna
No.
kill that if there's a good question on it. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Harvey to pay the bills except for 3 invoices from Texoma Heat and Air to be reviewed by Commissioner Beecham and returned to the court next Monday. Any comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 2 is discuss and review jail maintenance work orders.
We currently have 0 maintenance work orders open. 32 were completed last week. I was a little absent last week, so I wasn't able to really stay on top of a lot of stuff, but
Who did this for you, Andrew?
I did.
Boy's got talent.
I needed help.
Don't tell everything.
Well, now, you got Captain Patterson back today? Did she return today? There she is, okay. Wow.
And she actually walked in here like a normal person.
Now, that might be, she, yes, yeah, okay,
It looked like you feel a lot better. Oh, that's good.
good. Good.
So, I mean, we had a report of a leak, but it turned out to be condensation on an AC unit, so that it wasn't a leak. So, other than that, I mean, everything's pretty uneventful from last week.
Was it a stoppage in the condensation pan, or was it
That wasn't determined. We went ahead and called Texoma, and they're gonna come out and look at it. We'll know for sure after they assess the unit. It's the unit over 72. And so our maintenance was called, they went out just to investigate. They said, it's not a leak, it's a condensation, but we're gonna have to get Texoma out. So today,
Andrew, that Texoma, I've seen them do it. They have a little, it's like a CO2 gun. Okay, and it's got a little stopper on it. They stick it in that line and they pull the trigger and it goes, and it just blows it out. It's just lint stuff. We might invest in one of those for our maintenance guys, because that's a whole lot cheaper than calling them out here and it blows it out, you know.
yeah.
You
So,
don't have to be certified to deal with the freons and all that stuff.
no, that's what Freon. You're
No.
blowing out the PVC drain pipe.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. Just
Yeah.
sticks it over the little drain and pulls the trigger, little CO2 cartridge, just blows out the plug, basically.
Okay, it is. That sounds neat.
It becomes a cordless
Get a
air
tool,
gun.
that's fine with me.
Yeah,
I don't know how much that kind of tool would cost.
they're not, I don't believe that they're very expensive, but it sure does work. It's in a little CO2 cartridge that's about that long, it's about that big around.
Yeah, David and Ray, they don't have any problem doing any of the work. It's just sometimes they get stopped because of.
It's all about having the right tool for the right job.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Couldn't you do that with a can of
Air.
air and?
You gotta have a big rubber stopper on it
Oh, yeah.
and push on there hard, and you gotta have enough pressure to blow the plug out.
You can go with an air hose, but it's got.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's why I was saying, if you had the tank of air and you had the right adapter on the end, but I don't, you know.
Oh, yeah, one of those little
Yeah,
tanks that you
Yeah.
pressure up.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about canned air that we blow out the
No,
computers
no, no,
with.
no, no.
So-
We can look into it.
Okay.
So we can ask Texoma and see what they say
Yeah.
on the kind of tool they use.
But preventive maintenance of pouring bleach or something, that's, yeah.
Say that again?
Bleach, water mixed together and put it in that drain pan and let it go through there, often does that too.
Yeah, which Texoma does preventative maintenance on all the
Okay.
units, so that should be something that they cover, right?
I would make sure, I'd ask them.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
yes, but I mean, I talked to Lee about it, and they come out and do preventative maintenance on all the units. They should be doing something
Yeah.
similar to that at least.
Right, so it shouldn't be stopping up. And it's a
Right,
good
shouldn't
prevent,
be.
yeah. Unless there's a mouse ran in it, yeah.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
And
I think with the amount of humidity we've had this last.
consider, it could be dripping off the outside of the pan.
Or,
It's been
and
extremely
low
humid.
freon will
Yeah.
cause an excessive amount of condensation. All right, we'll let them fix it. Good report. Thank you, sir. Just a side note, I want to say, you know that jail we visited the other day? That was neat stuff. Our jail's a whole lot cleaner than that jail was.
Yes, I think we have a lot of proactive folks that
Yeah.
like to stay on top of that.
Especially the line cleaning day, the fire chasing.
Yeah.
Nice to remove the gunk and funk out of the
Debris.
floor.
Yeah, no. But I'm just talking about, you know, that there's definitely a difference, and ours is a whole lot older facility than that. So, yeah, no, so that means good work too. Okay. Item 3 is discuss, consider, take action on remaining outstanding construction issues with the firing range. We've got one on there to approve on that, but anything else, Commissioner?
We got permanent power last Friday, I believe it was. And Darryl told me that 1/4 of the building is not working. So it's 4 buildings put together. So I called Eric Archer. He is probably already out there and figured it out. When they put those trailers together, they plug them, you know, plug and play, and maybe one of them has a loose connection or not connected or whatever, but he's going to check that out for us. He did get to go through the electric panel that he put in today. Everything looks good. On one of the gun range light towers, one of the dimmer switches doesn't work, so he has that on order. It was just in his initial test of it since he got power. And got a quote for $2,700 for the underpinning. Darryl got a quote. Okay, remember when we had the flooring was $6,200 from Briegel? He got a quote from that Simpsons. Yeah, $8,200, and we went no. So he was still getting one. I think Randy Elliott was going out to Popular.
Okay.
We got that, it was higher than the Regal as well. I'm looking up, trying to find it right now.
I found Briegels to be the most professional and best priced.
I agree with that.
Now we have inmate labor that's going to install that, Judge.
Install the what?
The flooring.
What is it?
It's a slip together
Vinyl planks,
planks.
and they can do it so it's not
Yeah.
popped up.
They do it.
They have a person that's temporarily incarcerated that did that for a living, and he has been instrumental in the bathroom and the sheetrock and all that stuff. He's
Well-
pretty handy.
I just priced some at Briegel, $249 a square foot, and
This was $259, so it's 10 cents different.
I think this is a.
Popular.
But yours was installed?
no,
No.
Installation was a square footage charge on top of that.
Okay.
Popular was installed $329, and it was a heavy grade vinyl plank flooring.
Well,
Poplar's was $9,092 material. Simpson was $8,206, and Regal was $6,286.
Oh, 6,286. Okay.
8,206.
8,206.33. Popular was 9,092.33. And Regal was 6,286.96.
Okay. So,
Briegel would be the,
yeah, I was just trying to think of what motion I wanted to make.
well, okay.
I'll make a motion that we purchase our flooring materials from Briegel for $62.06. Make in the same motion. How would I approve that? What's Bobby Hayden's company's name?
I'm not sure.
Would like to approve the underpinning for $2,800, not to exceed $2,800.
You need to get that name, so it'll be in the minutes.
It's I have it. Johnny Goldson is gonna do the underpinning. That's the same guy that replaced the metal on the outside of the trailer, Sheriff. The guy that replaced the metal that was missing.
Right.
Yeah. And we've already got an invoice in from him, so we know he's good.
Should there be any, we paid to have that trailer put together. Should that have gone back on the installer, on that electrical problem?
Once we hear back from Eric, I don't even know what's wrong with it.
Okay.
So I don't know. Don't know
Okay.
that.
All right.
We have permanent power now, and we're scheduling, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's wait.
Okay.
So my motion is for 6206 for Briegels and not to exceed 2,800 for Johnny Goldson for the underpinning.
6206.96 is what we said a while ago.
Okay, 96. My motion is for not to exceed $6,300 for Briegel and not to exceed $2,800 for Goldson.
Flooring and underpinning.
Flooring and underpinning.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, motion by Commissioner Harvey, second by Commissioner Beecham to approve the bids for flooring and the underpinning for the gun range classroom. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Judge, just a side note.
Yes, sir.
I had Chief Joe check on the price of that whole, all the trailers are, before, like we have out there now. And for a brand new one was $198,000 for that same set that we got through 1030 for nothing, other than the 15,000 bringing down set up. So I just want to reiterate the little things that are expensive like flooring, which we know is expensive, and we'll be taking well care of.
We're still going to come in less than half price.
We're coming,
Yeah.
Sheriff, I spent my career in the chemical plants and refineries, and every job that we moved to, I had to rent those things. Those 4-wide trailers rent for about $2,800 a month. Rent. They're expensive.
you gotta have it,
Well, in the refineries, we have to have it.
yeah.
We could have done everything you needed to do on a tailgate of a pickup in the pouring down rain and 110-degree weather, right?
Snowflakes.
Oh, snowflakes, yeah, that's true.
Standing on asphalt.
Yeah, standing on asphalt, which would keep you from getting your feet muddy.
Unless it's
Okay.
Okay, we're good?
All right. Item number 4, discuss, consider, take action to approve the district clerks and the deputy district clerks' travel request to include an extra meal and hotel for traveling the day before conference in South Padre Island and overnight stay and meals in San Marcos because of the distance of travel from South Padre Island. Ms. Flores.
You're going to the outlet malls in San Marcos, aren't you?
We did.
And we are.
We did, yeah. And that's why, and I know how to get, it's back roads, and I know how to get there, and I know it's a good place to stay, and we're about halfway. Do you have any questions? No, on the way back, the conference ended at noon, and we drove back through San Antonio, which was a bad idea. We were trying to get home. We thought we could do it in one day, and I can't see at night, so we stopped in Multiple.
It's about 10 hours from here to Corpus. And was it another hour on down to South Padre? Or more?
Well,
Yeah.
it said it was 10, I think it was 10.50 hours.
Yeah.
You gotta stop for gas, stop to eat. We figured we'd do it in 11 and a half, 12 hours.
Right. Well, that's my point. That's a lot of hours on the road and at night. I think that's,
No, I don't know.
I don't have a problem with this at all. This is very
I think
reasonable.
the real question here is why would anybody schedule a meeting in South Padre Island in Texas? I mean, and it's not just your association, they're all guilty of that. That's a terrible place.
It's terrible.
Think if you were in Amarillo. You know, I mean, goodness gracious, guys, have you ever heard of Waco?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, seriously, what are we doing?
Next year is in San Antonio.
Well, but you'll see that makes, they bid them and it's fun to go to. There's not the consideration of the accessibility to
It's
it.
been one of my pet peeves forever. I think you ought to rotate between Austin and Waco and Dallas Fort Worth.
They're centrally located.
Stay in the middle of the state. Boy, that South Padre and all that stuff is brutal on crime.
It
It's
ain't-
like we're doing here.
It ain't like none of our district clerks are gonna be out there surfing or anything. So why do they, you know?
Well, my complaint's always
Not just
been,
the county.
you go to South Padre or you go to Corpus to a meeting. You get there 30 minutes late for a meeting, you sit in the building for 3 days and you leave and drive home. What good did it do you to be in? That's been a pet peeve of mine forever, is why we do that. But if you're going on vacation, that's one thing, but if you're going to a meeting, why? Why do we do that to ourselves? But we do. And
So I'll make a motion to approve this as stated.
Okay.
I'll second it.
You know, we used to have a policy a long time ago, there was no out-of-state travel unless specifically approved by the Commissioners Court, and that's still generally the case. But there was an argument with one of the district judges. He always liked to go to the Las Vegas Judicial Conference. Well, he wanted the mileage for driving across the state, and the court used to say, no, you go north and we're only going to pay you for 11 miles in state driving. And
well, think how much money it would save to have that meeting in Oklahoma City rather than South Padre Island. I mean, come on.
well, generally speaking, those should be in the state of Texas and accessible, but they try to get them rotated around to go to the different areas. It's just like our meeting in October, or no, September is going to be in Corpus. And I wasn't on the board to select that location. It's,
Oh, I go to them, Judge, I know, I understand, and they'll tell you that's where we get our biggest crowds. For the life of me, I don't know why, because like I said, you're not going down there to spend any time enjoying yourself, but that's the world we live in.
okay. Item 5, discuss, consider, take action to approve a proposal from Trinity Hughes at a cost not to exceed $2,000 for Action Target to return to the firing range for the final installation and performance.
Judge,
Sir,
you
I'm
just go
sorry,
first in a
I
second.
didn't, thank you very much. We talked about it, the motion by Harvey and Beecham, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried 5-0, thank you. Didn't have my check mark on it, I should have followed my system. Okay. All right, item 5, discuss, consider, take action to approve a proposal from Trinity Hughes Construction at a cost not to exceed $2,000 for Action Target to return to the firing range and final installation and performance of training to be paid from the 2016 limited tax note funds budget as established by the county auditor. Commissioner Harvey.
I sent out a little email in good spirits questioning this $2,000. I personally assisted those people. I brought my big Lowell forklift over from Burke, which belongs to me, not the county, and stayed out there a week helping those guys. And you know, in their little email deal, they give credit for $200 for that. You know, I never was allowed to do that. If I rented a forklift, I had to pay for the in and out delivery and pickup, and if I used it 4 days, and I had it all week, I didn't say, well, I didn't use it for those other 2 days, et cetera. I still had to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, I think this is it's a one-way street here. We give. It's time for them to do a little giving, and it doesn't seem like they're giving
I'm not
any.
understanding what the charge is.
They're gonna charge us $2,000 to come back and train on the 17th. The reason they have to come back is because we didn't have permanent power.
Oh,
Okay, they have to have permanent power before they'll bless it. I mean, we could have run it and done everything off of the temporary stuff, but not allowed. Their rules say you gotta have permanent power. So I just felt like it was a little, was a lot of give and no take, or a lot of take and no give. How's that? And I sent an email on that, and they told me, don't worry about that right now, let's just get permanent power. So I did that.
do we not set the rates for our own rentals on our equipment?
Yeah, but it was not county equipment. I just did them a favor, trying to help out, save money, and
They didn't
then
return it.
it bit me on the end of it. So, I mean,
But you know, I don't know how they do any job where there's going to be, you know, the style that was built, you couldn't have everything done before they needed to be there to set their equipment and all in there.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, on the next one, when you're in charge of it, we'll be sure we work that out ahead of time. But I would think they'd have put that in there. We wouldn't have gotten around that, but you beat them down some, and I appreciate that. Okay, is that a motion by you to pay then as it is, unless you can negotiate a lower price?
No, just do it as stated. I'll make a motion to accept as stated.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Just
Any
noted
comments on this?
disappointed, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Harvey, second by Commissioner Muller, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, opposed, motion carries 5-0. Item number 6, discuss and take action to approve the county treasurer's reports for May 2017 and authorize county judge and commissioners to sign affidavits certifying compliance with section 11.026C for the local government code for May 2016. Mr. Hampton.
Gentlemen, here's your spreadsheet for the actual things we have invested in.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Brother Bob.
Thank you.
We're looking at May of this year, and where we are trailing 12 months is we're 14% ahead of where we were last year at this time.
That's amazing.
Well, there's some real explanations in that. Isn't that because of the unspent proceeds we have for the 2 different loans that we've made this last year?
Pretty much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want Commissioner Harvey
Thinking we're doing good?
doing that good, no. We are up in revenue based on the tax rate from last year, but we're mostly up on revenue from
The loans.
those loans. And what percentage you going to use next year when we've got the 70 million sitting in the bank? It's going to sound really good.
Numbers don't lie, do they, Bob?
Well, I'm going to ask for a raise next year.
We might can get you some overtime in the jail.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Bob, is there a designated fund that we have set up for interest in sinking that's a interest-bearing account?
We do that.
How is
If you're
it
looking
titled
at
here?
under that last page, it'll say debt, spreadsheet. I mean, it's on the sheet you have from,
I
that's
see.
so copious that, let me just show it to you. It's on that last page that I have.
Here.
Yes, sir.
Those are the accounts set up for that?
Yes, sir.
Back.
Okay. And the biggest one, of course, is
Flip it over, Judge.
Texas.
Okay, that's trying to helps have it.
Get a little over 1% interest on that.
So that 1.1 is kind of the general number, Bob, 1.137.
For, interest, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much where we are.
That's
What
double
you're
what
looking
it
at on
was.
that interest return is, there where it says, returns it, the totals on that is roughly ×2, because they pay semi-annual, but some of those CDs pay monthly. And it's, it's hard to give you an exact monthly interest report unless we go in and do something. And really, that's no concern to you, but that's where we are financially. But a year ago, we were 0.5%. So the economy is
Doubled.
somewhat improved.
Well, in reality, Bob, at 0.5, when you really think about it, I would bet inflation's just about wiping that out, wouldn't you say? I think we consider it.
Interestingly enough, Commissioner, that inflation's not really the problem yet. When we get inflation going, well, then that's when we better start grabbing raises.
Well, we see it in a
And
lot
we'll
of.
see a little inflation when the Fed raises the rates again. They're looking to be at least 2 more raises.
When do they consider those? Is it August? And
Well, they consider them every FOMC meeting.
okay, but I was thinking they kind of had some they tended to do that on, or when?
They're thinking about the end of the summer, but it'll
Well, it
depend on,
seems- it sure seems-
current events. It's kind of like budgeting, you know, it's a scientific
Yes.
wild guess.
Are they going to Twitter that increase?
And he'll probably Twitter it, yeah. It's all about leadership.
Okay.
It sure seems like that the inflation on hard goods, though, is really outpacing what the reported inflation rate is supposed to be. I mean, a lot of the things that we buy on a day-to-day basis to maintain, especially in our precincts and stuff, it just, my goodness, guys, tires and batteries and repair parts and
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Lines of tires and bears, oh my.
Especially your petroleum products.
petroleum products or.
And here it is, oil per barrel down significantly what it was last year.
Flat at
It just
best.
doesn't make any sense, but I think most of the big time producers are just scared.
Well, they need to
We got
start
these-
selling bottled water.
Got these overhead costs that are about the whipsaws.
Interesting article in the paper yesterday, I believe it was, about the new high-efficiency drilling rigs that they're running now, where they used to set on location for 2 or 3 months to complete one of those big wells. I think they're doing it in 10 days now.
Wow.
That is blowing a hole in the ground, guys, I'm telling you. High
I ain't buying
horsepower-
that.
Huh?
I ain't buying
High
that.
horsepower, high pressure, they are poking them.
Wow.
Wonder what the cost of that rig is and compared to the other one.
In fact, that was what the article said they're retrofitting a bunch of the old rigs, doing what they call these new super rigs, and it's just a matter of stacking a bunch of big engines and big pumps on them, you know, I mean, and they're.
Boy, when you go through that granite, that dolomite, you got 8-hour Kelly. I mean, it ain't about the pressure, it's about being able to cut that dolomite. I mean, that's, holy smoke. I don't know how they do that in 10 days.
Well, I mean, that's,
They have to have some kind of new method of cutting.
they're not all 10
You
days,
couldn't hear?
but pressure's always been the big determining factor on that stuff. You can blow that stuff out there with water. I mean, look at your water jets. You can cut rock, you can cut steel, you can cut, I mean, that's where the performance is that high pressure stuff. Anyway, I'm just saying that
That'd be
they're
cool if I could do
continuing to
that.
make advances, and yet that price just really is not. Guess you're doing it on volume. Find a bunch of it. But it sure drives us here in Texas. Drives
Bob,
us
did you ever
out.
think in your lifetime that you'd see a barrel of water was 1,000% more expensive than a barrel of oil?
You know, that's interesting. You said that in 1995, I was at broker school, and one of my teachers said that water will be our next sought-after commodity. Water.
But Lee, that's not about the water itself, it's about the marketing and the packaging. It has nothing to do with the commodity. The commodity's still cheap, but it's the packaging and the marketing that's driving that. Interesting. I wish it was better.
Ashley's here if you want to ask her about those things.
I do.
Thank you,
Mr. Hampton, last month's report,
Yes, sir.
this one had an error in the road and bridge area.
Yeah.
Did that get
It
corrected?
did get correct.
All right. I thought, I hadn't seen that, but I thought you were going to take care of it in that department. Thank you, sir. Okay, could we have a motion then to approve the item as stated?
So moved.
Second.
I'm voting no, just for the heck of it.
Actually, do you approve it or you just accept it?
You accept it
You don't
and
approve it.
authorize the signature of it.
Yeah, because if you approved it, you'd have to be a.
Well, it says to
CPA.
approve, yeah, there's.
The wording's not.
Yeah,
You
but
don't really, you file it.
that's probably left over from when that statute was written
Yeah.
that requires that. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries 5-0.
Well, I think you can't approve it without a full audit. I mean, that's what, something like that, I don't know. Anyway.
But it's submitted here and then it gets reviewed by the auditor actually after we accept it. Okay. Ashley, thank you for coming up. There was a question, I think we resolved it on item 3. Commissioner, that after I gave you that other figure in there, is that good with you now on item 3?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go. We'll need to take a motion.
But
then
is it working, Judge? I mean, wasn't that a question?
Well, that was the other question. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not working. So we shouldn't pay it yet, should we? Okay.
There was an issue with the conference phone, Polycom, like we all have on your desk. It's a little bit different version, and for some reason they couldn't get it to work. They haven't figured out the issue, and it has to have an additional license, which they're not charging to us because they were unaware of it also. But it is not working yet, so. I've been told the license is supposed to be here and installed sometime this week, but
We can put it on the agenda next week.
Will that have an ongoing fee on that license? Just one time?
But she
Okay.
said we wasn't gonna be charged.
Right. Well, I want to be sure it wasn't the first year we weren't paying.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had one of our vendors, there was an annual deal, and we managed to hold them to that when they couldn't do what they were supposed to do. Okay, the next one on item 5 on the SKC Communications Project, there's a statement down at the bottom of the,
yes.
that leaves that this may not be working yet.
This whole thing confuses me, so I have to understand. So there were some questions of where the $378, why it's stuck in here. I don't know if George has fixed that. Are we still running off of this? Okay. I don't understand why the 378 is included in this. It doesn't go to SKC and it doesn't have anything to do with Polycom, so I'm not sure where that number has come from. The deal about the additional cost is not accurate. There are no additional costs. And it is working. The other portion is in the bottom of this where she states that the emergency fund for the end of the year, I was told that that is in there due to the fact that the invoice for the $28,920 was actually a budgeted item for 2016.
Correct. But we don't know why. How'd that go that long before we got that invoice?
So there were several phases to that project, and SKC did not bill until everything was complete, and I gave the okay. So that was why there was that lapse. And we budgeted, we bought it in the middle of 2016, and then the next piece we budgeted for 2017, so we ordered it in January. So they waited until we did it all for me to give a blessing to move forward. So that's why that other one was held back.
So what this order would do is take the money out of your current budget.
Yes.
If it comes back that you all then need that money, then we will transfer it out of 409. All it has to do is be run back to court. Done. But we want to recognize that
She
early.
just explained to us, though, that this was incorrect, that this $378 doesn't belong to this.
Well, it
and
says
that-
3-year warranty, is
Yes.
that, yeah.
When I asked to try to figure out all of this mess, I got an invoice from SHI, which was for a 3-year warranty on the switch. That doesn't, we don't even know what the switch is or what it was for, but it doesn't go with this project.
Okay. Should we pull this and let's get it straight for next week?
That, I don't know. I know George was working with her on that.
Okay. Let's get it. A week's not going to matter in this deal.
I don't think we have enough information
Yeah.
to move forward.
I mean, the first 3 I can tell you, as far as the 271 on the bottom, I was a little frustrated about that. That 271 was on that quote that I submitted to y'all. It was for the freight to get it here, and for whatever reason, the court order does not say the 28,921 plus the freight. So
Okay.
that's why we had to come back to 271.
I think Patty picked that switch up in San Marcos at the outlet mall. I think that's what it is. I think that's the one.
Looks just like,
I know.
comes out of your budget instead of mine.
I know.
And I mean, we can pay the front three if you want to pull the 378 until I can figure out what it's for.
Okay.
Because the front three are accurate, but that last invoice number, the GP for the 378.56, we have no idea what that is.
What's your desire, Judge? Do you
Well,
want to-
what are you talking about in the pink or in the blue? There's a slight difference in the two amounts, and the one had, when you say the front three, you're talking about the first.
The ones that are actually the SKC, yes, sir.
Okay.
The Real Presence Video Protect, the Real Presence Media Suite, and the Real Presence Clarity.
Okay, so we're going to remove the 378.56.
Yes, because the hardware 3-year warranty, we have no idea what it's for, or what it was supposed to be attached to, or why it was pulled out separately. But it does not have anything to do with any of the three items that are listed from SKC.
Well, we've got court orders there, Judge. Is that where we agreed to do the project?
Yes,
And now we need to pay? Is that?
Those are, I came to you and gave you these totals, and they were voted on.
And so this is the difference from that total? Isn't that what we're really doing?
The first one, the Video Protect, actually came in less than what the quote was for.
Okay.
The Media Suite was dead on for what I gave you the quote for. The Real Presence Clarity System, it had the freight for being shipped. That 271.03 is for freight, and it was in that quote. And for somehow or another, it didn't get voted on as the correct amount. I don't know what happened, but, so that's the price difference.
But from those three lines, we're still net to the good
Yes,
as far as what was approved.
Yes, sir. The only thing that threw us over was this 378, which I don't know what it's for.
So we need to pay the first three items as invoiced.
Well, okay, is the freight included in the other one? Because I'm looking at this. If you look at the top figure, it's 63,485. If you add 271 to the below figure of 63,160, then I think you're going to come out right at that. I'm just doing that in my head, but.
Oh, well,
Could we get this any more convenient?
Yeah, I know.
we won't trust that.
So the Real Presence Clarity
No, it doesn't
system,
do it either.
if you look, the court order approved it for $28,920.89.
Yeah.
That
And we
the
added for the-
difference number of the 271.03 at the bottom was for the freight to get it here. That comes back, and the invoiced amount that SKC spent was for $29,191.92.
But we approved 28,920.
Somehow or another, that 271
Didn't get in
put
there.
But it was in the, I don't know. But that's the difference, is it's just the freight.
Judge, I'd make the motion that we pay the Real Presence Video Protect at $560, the Real Presence Media Suite with 3-year warranty, the Real Presence Clarity System with 3-year warranty as invoiced.
Plus the freight.
Plus-
No,
as
I'm
invoiced.
sorry, in the
As
peak up there,
invoiced.
as in the, okay. At 29,191.92.
Correct.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay.
That cleans up the first three columns, basically.
And then that would leave us with the warranty, 3-year hardware warranty that you would research and bring us back next
Yes.
week.
Okay, so that's out of that total, so we would subtract out the 378.56 from the 63,485.95. Because it's included over there in that.
Puts us net to the good,
Okay.
as opposed to the court orders.
Right, pay the invoiced amount on those 3 line items.
Chief Richard.
Send that $50 over to Bob Hampton to invest at 1.37.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Muller to pay the invoice amounts of 9618. Whoa, wrong. 92.
94, 23. 24, 621.
And 29, 191.
92.
Okay. Any other comments? Can we run in circles a little farther? Okay.
Well, I've got a question. No.
You better not. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Whoa.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, ma'am. Okay. We are now down to any staff reports to be made. Public comments? Okay, Commissioner Beecham.
Yeah, just to remind everybody to continue in prayer for Doug Pendleton, for my staff, for Precinct 1. He's undergoing bypass surgery, likely as we speak.
Are we going to coordinate something soon for?
Yeah, we need to, because he will run out of both vacation and sick leave time before he will be able to return. So he'll need some assistance on paying his insurance, et cetera. He does have FMLA that will cover it.
Well, now, as long as he's under FMLA, unless he's got additional insurance.
Yeah, his additional.
Okay. Okay.
So his will be intact, correct, Judge, during that time?
Yeah, his employee, if he's got additional insurance, that's where he's got a problem. Okay. Commissioner Harvey?
Staff report, Don Farmer is not returned to work yet. He should return tomorrow. He is feeling a lot better. He's very, very weak. Can't really say too much about that. Kind of personal, but anyway.
Is he coming back? You got a doctor's release? He's bringing back.
I didn't ask him. He just said
He's been out 3 days. No, he's supposed to have a doctor's release.
Well, he'd been out 3 days. He was out over the weekend. But
Oh, I thought that, we talked about him
Oh.
last Monday.
it's been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got out of the hospital in Missouri.
Okay. You know,
So you want him to email
They
you or
probably-
fax you a doctor?
yeah, but they probably gave him something that advised him of his condition that said, you know, doing this, this, and this, or don't
And if
do
they
that.
didn't?
If they don't, then he needs to get something from the hospital, from the attending physician, that he's capable to come back to work or limited work. They need to make.
Who
some-
pays for that?
Well, they're going to send that as part of his medical procedure. That's covered under Blue Cross.
Also, call up to Missouri and get the doctor to give something.
Well, if he doesn't have something in his paperwork,
Okay,
then you need to have him do that.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and he might say, okay, what do you need? Ted can give me, you know, something if there's a form deal, or what we do on workers' comp cases, so I could send them something similar to that, but
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
see what they, you know, since he didn't have any surgery, they were able to clear that.
That's correct. He did
So,
not have to have surgery.
You know, it shouldn't be a big deal, but they may already have something in his discharge paperwork.
Okay,
Usually
I'll
that
check it
is.
out.
Okay.
Marty Fudge probably will get to come home today.
Nope. More AFib problems. That was this morning's report.
More
So when I left him
AFib.
last night at
Yeah.
8:30, he was fine.
What did you say going out that caused that?
Well, it's no,
The
I
problem
mean,
is Kat Hedden is the daytime nurse down there, and she was Miss New Mexico. So I think he might be faking.
well, but the AFib is something they'll probably just put him on medicine for.
Well, they have.
Well, they did, and it went away. It stopped, and it wasn't doing it last night when I left at 8:30. So that's something new. I didn't hear that until Judge just said it. So scratch that up, Nate.
But he's probably still go home. AFib's no.
No, well, according to Judge Brother this morning, he's not.
That's still a miraculous recovery. He had
Yeah.
a major procedure,
Yeah.
he's doing good. I saw his picture there. Looked
Yeah, look
good.
good.
They took the veins out of his legs, and his legs are as black as your Judge's jacket.
I've had people tell me that's
Oh.
the worst part.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That
word.
yeah.
I've
Terrible.
never done it, but I've heard that. That's the tough
I
part.
wonder if they took it up for all five. What'd they do with the extra two? They only did three.
I don't know.
Maybe they went back and put them in.
I don't know.
The bigger
Yeah.
question, when they cut his heart, was his heart maroon?
It was.
That's what I thought. It's-
It bled maroon.
Okay.
Well, now that we're finished, Claire decides to show up.
Yeah. Mr. Mark, anything?
You know, just summer work progressing. We continue to be blessed with rain, but that means we got to mow. It's part of it. And just continue to do some prep work to get some paving done later in the summer. Just busy. If you're out and about, watch out for our guys. They're out on the roads and doing things. And it's just always good to be aware that there's some workers around.
The Roy Fugit is back in the saddle. He's got his doctor's release. So if you've got any Great All projects, please let us know. And
I do
Joey's
have-
got a calendar with that. We're keeping him booked, and I've been turning in mine to Bill as well, so he can get them spotted, and he'll schedule with your guys and get there. So I've told him we're behind and we want to get caught in it.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, we do have budget work sessions scheduled immediately following. We'll take a short recess. Everybody gather materials, move down here. On that, where you are, it's open discussion on budgets 221 through 665 and budget discussion on revenue, requested capital expenditures, and outside agencies. And the other meeting scheduled this week is work session tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we have listed all the departments of 225 through 640 and all their personnel positions. Some departments are scheduling their times to come in. We're going to list all of them because some of them don't. Remember, we talked to them. They needed to let us know 3 days ahead of time. Nancy figured out the way to put them all down, and then if they come in, and she's going to send them a reminder notice. It will be 2 weeks next Wednesday, a week from this coming Wednesday, that we ask them to come in with those and make sure, give us whatever information they can.
Who is coming tomorrow?
Nobody's made an appointment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but it certainly doesn't hurt us to, Willie, do you have the projected payrolls in these departments that we had discussed? Have you put those pools together?
No.
Because you don't know which positions that you're looking at. It's figured the bottom paid positions.
Right.
So we can make an estimate, but, until you decide something, it's not.
Well, we wanted to see how close we were to that, if we were talking about the lower ones, to that $1 million.
Well,
Total impact.
I can't picture a department, they might have somebody who retires that's up here, but they're not gonna give that up, they're gonna go back down to the bottom. And,
Well, that's
you know,
what you.
But, well, they don't have to give that position up. They could leave that position unfilled, remove the bottom one, you know, pull a bottom position and still leave that line intact.
You know, there are options on the way you approach this, what you do. So we can talk about those. There are ways to get things done without big deal of upheaval.
we do have that scheduled for tomorrow. Wednesday at 9 a.m., we have budget discussions on Departments 560 through 572 and Departments 640 and 665. That was at the sheriff's request to put those on there. And the others, we've had some people mention that they thought they might be here with that. And then we also listed the rest of the departments. That's Wednesday at 9 a.m. And plus budget discussion on revenue, requested capital expenditure from outside agencies. Then on Friday is just pay the bills and emergency and regular bills. For that. Okay, it is 11:04, and we'll take a recess until hopefully not later than 11:15.
Is everybody gonna be here tomorrow? I've got a funeral in the morning at 10.